welcome back to another set of lessons in creative writing. In this video, we will be learning about the elements of a drama. Yes, we are done with the elements of fiction. Now we go to the elements of a drama. Now, first, when we say drama, it means it is performed in a theater, on stage, live for people to see. It's not pre-recorded, just like what you knew about the drama series that you watch on TV or on Netflix or wherever you watch that. When we talk about drama here, it's a live performance being performed on stage. Now, what are the elements of a drama before it all happens on stage? So first, let us have Aristotle's 6 elements of drama. And these are the 6 elements of drama according to Aristotle. He was the first to write about the essential elements of drama more than 2,000 years ago. While ideas have changed slightly over the years, we will still discuss Aristotle's list when talking about what makes the best drama. So first, we have the plot. This is what happens in the play. So plot refers to the action, the basic storyline of the play, how was everybody introduced in the story, what is the conflict, and how it ended. Just like a plot of a story. So that's what the plot is. And then the theme. While plot refers to the action of the play, the theme refers to the meaning of the play. It is the main idea or the lesson that the play wants to send to its audiences. And in some cases, the theme of a play is obvious. It's just like fighting for freedom, something like that. But there are times that it is quite subtle. It's not really shown outwardly on the play or in the drama. It's like hidden in the situations that are being shown to us. Now, when it comes to characters, of course, the characters are the people, or sometimes it can be animals or just ideas that are portrayed by the actors in the play. It is the characters who move the action or plot of the play forward. Now, of course, without the characters, the story will not move on. The story can't move forward because they are the one who's going to show us the different scenarios in the story of the play. And then we have the dialogue. This refers to the words written by the playwright. Now, a playwright is the person who writes the play. Okay? If it's when it comes to like writing short stories, they're called the authors. But when it comes to drama or plays, they are called playwright. Okay? So again, the dialogue refers to the words written by the playwright and spoken by the character in the play. And of course, the dialogue helps move the action of the play along. Next is the music and rhythm. While music is often featured in drama, Aristotle was referring to the rhythm of the actors' voices as they speak. I don't know if you have watched some dramas on theater or on TV. You may notice that characters has that distinct way of talking. Like, let's have the classic example, Romeo and Juliet. They do not speak as a usual way people speak, but there's that kind of melody and rhythm to it. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, something like that, right? So That is what it means by rhythm by Aristotle. It's how the speaker, or it's how the characters speak and deliver their lines. Now, when it comes to drama, music are added to add suspense, to add emotion to the play itself. And then the last one is the spectacle. This refers to the visual elements of a play. So it can be the set. When we say set, the setup of the stage, or it can be the costumes or the special effects and so on. So spectacle is everything that the audience sees as they watch the play. Okay, from the word itself, spectacle. So it talks about vision. Okay, the things that you can see. Now these are the 6 essential elements of drama according to Aristotle. So we have the plot, the theme, the characters, the dialogue, the music and the rhythm, and spectacle. Now this has changed over time. In the modern theater, these elements are categorized. Okay, so we will talk about that. So how are they categorized? The elements of drama by which dramatic works can be analyzed and evaluated can be categorized into 3 major areas. And the first one is the literary elements, the second one is the technical elements, and the third one is the performance elements. Now, in this lesson, in this one video, we will be tackling all this, but this already covers our entire lesson for this 4th quarter. Now, it's only the lecture that is done, but I will still be updating you about your performance task, because since this is creative writing, you are expected to write to create something, right? So the remaining weeks will be allotted for you to write, to revise your short story, and that short story will be turned into drama. So in the following weeks, I will only be giving you video feedbacks on your performances, on your outputs, and how to improve them as we go along, and the final output will be submitted before the examination. Okay, so let us begin. First, the literary elements. So under the literary elements, we have the 6 stages in a plot. Okay, so you're already familiar with this. First is the preliminary event. When we say preliminary, of course, it's the first thing that happens. So the preliminary event is whatever that takes place before the action of the play that is directly related to the play. It's like, in our words, it's like segue. Different characters will be just like playing or walking to the market, something like that. So those are the preliminary events. It prepares the audience. So it's like an event wherein it's like a scene wherein it prepares the audience before the actual important events happen. And then we go with the initial incident, the event that gets the story going. So preliminary is like pasilip. It's like a short introduction or preparation for the audiences, and then the initial event, and in the first incident will be introduced and it will get the story going. And then the next one is the rising action. Now, this is a series of events following the initial incident leading up to the dramatic climax. And yes, here we are at the climax. And that climax is the turning point or the highest point of a story when events can go either way. Either the character will realize something or not. And then begins to fall down. The series of events following the climax, the falling action. And then after the falling action is the denouement. It's another term for conclusion from the French word unraveling. So in the denouement, everything calms down and the story will end. Okay, so those are the 6 stages in a plot. And also under the literary elements is the language. In drama, it is the particular manner of verbal expression, the diction or style of writing, or the speech or the phrasing that suggests a class or profession or type of the character. So here, in language, this is where the playwright chooses what kind of language is used. Is it formal language, or what are the words that were chosen for each of the characters? And of course, just like what we talk about in the essential elements of fiction, when I introduced you the diction, we get to know what type of person or from what place is the character coming from, just from the way they speak. The next one is the style. It is the shaping of dramatic material, the setting or costumes in a deliberately non-realistic manner. The materials, the costumes, and the settings are all described in the script, and later on it will be materialized in a realistic way. So of course, here it's all just a description of what should the characters, or how should the characters look, what are they wearing, and what is the actual, and what will be the actual setting of the story. Okay, so those are the literary elements of the drama. So the first one is the plot, second one is language, and the third one is style. So let's go to the technical elements. Now, in technical elements, it's more on the technicals. So first we have the scenery. So these are the theatrical equipment such as curtains, flats, backdrops, or platforms used in a dramatic production to communicate environment. So the scenery, from the word scene itself. So we have the backdrop over here, the curtain, or what kind of curtain is going to be used, or the platform where the characters will be stepping on. So it's more on the environment. The next one is the clothing or the costumes. So these are, again, the clothing and accessories worn by actors to portray a character and period. Of course, these are very important. When was the setting of the story? Was it in the Middle Ages, or is it about the war? So the costumes will, of course, be based on those scenarios. So if it's in the middle of the war and it's all about soldiers, of course the costumes will be most likely the uniforms of soldiers. So that's the costume. And then the next one is the props. So props is short for properties. It is any article except costume or scenery used as a part of dramatic production. Now these are any movable object that appears on stage during a performance. So it can be a telephone that will be used by the characters, or is it a train on the background? Okay, these are all movable. They can be held on to, or that can be manipulated on stage. So again, except the costume or scenery, that's the props. Okay? The next one is the lighting. This is the placement or the intensity and colors of lights to help communicate environment, mood, or feeling. Now, lighting is very important when inducing a mood or feeling on stage. When the lighting is dimmed out, then it creates a cold, mysterious, or scary feeling for the characters, right? If you make the color of the lighting red, it intensifies the feelings. Now, I remember with my creative writing students before they performed their drama, what they did was the light bulb inside the room, because we don't have a drama theater, we used the room, so they covered all the windows, and then the light of the room was covered by this yung pang ano yung tawag dun? I can't remember what's called, but it's the wrapper of, it's like the wrapper of a candy, coconut candy. Yung the transparent plastic with different kinds of colors, can be yellow, it can be blue, it can be red. They wrote a drama about aswang. So to make the environment scary, they covered the light bulb red. Now here's the short clip so that you can imagine what I'm talking about. Now that's how light creates intensity, and it intensifies the mood or the feeling of the scene. The next one is the sound. It is the effects that the audience can hear during performance to communicate character, context, or environment. So of course, just like the lighting, the sound effects will also add some more feels or emotion in the environment. The next one is the makeup. It's the incorporation of the wigs, the body paint, or literally the makeup that is being used to transform an actor into a character. Now there can be the prosthetics as well, so that the face of the characters will be transformed into something else, especially if the actor is going to portray a witch. So isn't it that the usual image of a witch is that they have long nose, crooked nose, something like that. So they need prosthetics and so on. And let's go to the performance elements. So the first one is acting. Of course, this is the use of face, the body, and the voice to portray the character. Now, when acting out a drama, the facial expressions of the character is much exaggerated so that the audience can clearly see the emotions of the character. Because if they act as if, normal way of showing our facial expressions in a certain situation, the audience cannot really appreciate what's the emotion of the characters. And especially during a play, it's live and there's no camera for it to zoom in and zoom out of the theater. So everything should be exaggerated, but not too much na yung exage talaga, but the right exaggeration that the portrayal of the emotion of the characters can be clearly shown. The next one is the character motivation. Now, when we say character motivation, this is the reason or the reasons for a character's behavior, an incentive or inducement for further action for a character. Like, for example, what is the reason behind the evilness of the villain? What is the character motivation? Now, this character motivation can be shown on stage or not. There are instances that character motivations are only known by the actors themselves. It's not for the audience to know. It helps the actor to portray or to understand why the character that they are portraying like that. So the writer or the playwright will let the actor know that ganito, he suffered from this one and this one, like that, but the audiences does not need to know those things. But in some instances, the audience don't need to know of these things. It just helps the actor relate to the character that they are portraying. Next, empathy. So this is the capacity to relate to the feelings of another. Now, this focuses on the actors or the characters. How will they empathize with their fellow actors or fellow performers on stage, so that they can deliver a much believable performance, and it will also connect the audience with them better. And for the other performance elements, we have speaking, breathing control, the vocal expressions, the inflections, the projections, and gestures and facial expressions. Now, the mode of expression or delivery of lines is the speaking. So this is also mentioned in the essential elements of drama by Aristotle. So it's how the actors deliver or express the lines. And in the breathing control, this is the proper use of the lungs and diaphragm muscle for maximum capacity and efficiency of breath for speaking. Now, actors have to practice breathing exercises because there are instances that they have long lines, and also they have to perform it on the top of their lungs, literally. So breathing exercises and proper breathing control should be adapted by the actors. The next one is the vocal expression. It's how an actor uses his or her voice to convey character. It's how the actors control their voices, express their voices to portray a character. So there are instances that actors change their voice during performance. The next one is inflection. Now, this is the change of pitch or loudness of the voice. The next one is projection. This is how well the voice carries to the audience. So, how does the actor project, just like that, their voices so that it carries well to the audience? And the last one is the gestures and facial expressions. Just like what I told you earlier, these gestures and facial expressions should be very visible to the audiences. That's why it should be exaggerated also, especially during plays. Now, those are the different elements of drama. So we had the 6 essential elements of drama according to Aristotle. And then in the modern theater, we had the 3 categories of the essential elements of drama. So first is the literary elements. It's more on the writing part of the play. And the second one is the technical elements, the things that we see on stage. Everything that we hear, it's the things that we see on stage. It's the setup. And the last one is the performance elements, the actual, how will the actors perform the drama or the play. Now, I hope that these are all clear to you. And again, this will be the last formal lecture for this subject, but in each releasing still, I will be checking up on you, or if I don't have any videos, that means checking your outputs. I am returning your outputs with feedbacks on how you're going to revise your stories and stuff. If there are some important reminders, I will be posting it up on our Facebook group. And this has been Teacher Dal. Bye!